Hey guys, we want to welcome everybody here today. We are at Piney Bay Coffee in Clarksville with our good friend Teresa Hill and, of course, my lovely wife Jody.
Hey, baby.
And so we're here to talk a little bit about real estate today with Teresa. And one of the things that we wanted to talk about is what's the Clarksville market doing? We talked about the overall market the last two times we've been on, about how COVID's affected our market, it's affected Clarksville's market, how inventory seems to be low right now and why that is. And so we kind of wanted to just check in, see how Clarksville's doing. And then also we wanted to talk a little bit about all these multiple offer situations that are going on right now. How can we help buyers be successful in a multiple offer situation? So thanks for joining us today, Teresa.
Thank you for having me.
And tell us a little bit about the Clarksville market today and how it's going.
I think in Arkansas it's probably the same in most towns, but supply and demand are off. So there's more buyers than there are houses for sale.
Right. Yeah.
And that makes it really hard. So sometimes you can get into a lot of different situations.
That's right. Yeah, we're experiencing that in Russellville.
Yeah.
And I know, and when we talk about Morrilton and Conway, it's even worse down there. So, have you had experience with multiple offer situations, like representing buyers on that? So tell us, what are some of the things that you advise your buyers to do when they're writing the offer, or you're writing the offer for them? How do you try to do that in a way they can be successful when there's like 5 other bids on the house at the same time?
Well, if they truly love the house and it's their house, I tell them to put their best offer in. There's other things you can do that besides putting a full price offer in, or even a more than full price offer in.
Wait, let's talk about price.
Okay.
Let's talk about that for a second. So that we could get in the weeds, but we won't get in the weeds. But I want to know from you how far maybe overpriced, because we all know houses are selling overpriced right now. They're selling over full price, I should say. But how much over full price are you seeing in Clarksville that maybe would win? Maybe like a percentage, or you'd say I always go 500 over, or I tell them to go 1,500 over. What have you seen that like helps it win? Do you know?
Well, full price is the main thing because they have already set in their mind what they want.
Yeah, yeah.
So you truly don't know if the other buyers are going to make a full price offer. So genuinely, if you start out at full price, if you've got a seller that has multiple offers, if they're smart, they will counter or ask all of those agents to have those buyers put in another offer that might be
highest and best is what we've
exactly
seen. Yeah, we've seen some of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if not doing it, they're not doing highest and best. It's just the first offer is going to be the only offer. Let's just say that's the way it's going to be. What are some of the other things other than price that you could do to try to make the buyer look the best and possibly win the offer?
Well, the cleaner the offer, the better.
Good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yes. Just a clean offer.
So clean offers meaning no surveys, no home warranties.
You're not asking the seller to pay your closing costs. You're not
go.
maybe accepting a survey that they can provide you, but if you want it recertified in your name, do that at your own expense.
Right.
Instead of asking them. And if they have a lot of outbuildings full of things to move and the house is full of furniture, you might give them delayed occupancy after.
That's a great point, Teresa. So delayed occupancy. So if the seller's been living in the house for a long time, maybe not even a long time, but you notice that they have a lot of stuff in and around the house.
Collectors.
They're collectors.
Yep.
It would make it less stressful on a seller if they had, say, 3 days to get out of the house after closing. So they've collected their money and they can take their time to get to another place.
That's right.
I think that's a great
I
place.
do too. Rent free specifically. I think
Absolutely.
rent free is, and so on average, I'd say, would you say courteous would be somewhere between 3 days and 5 days would be acceptable, right?
I think so.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a win.
And most of the time, buyers, I mean, they're moving from out of state. I mean, I say most buyers. We've been seeing this exodus of out of state buyers. They're not looking in to move in day of closing most of the time.
That's right.
They can give you a couple extra days to move out.
Yeah.
But it's a great negotiating tip to say, just give them some time
That's
to
right.
move out.
You bet.
Yeah. What about earnest money? Teresa. I like to use Earnest Money, and so for people out there that don't know what Earnest Money is, that is a tool that we have that you have as buyers. You could put up $500 or $1,000 and call it good faith money that you're going to put up. Either the listing company holds the money till closing, or the title company can, and then you get that money back at closing, unless something crazy happens, you back out the day of closing. Okay, but most of the time it's a good. You're going to get the money back to you. But do you use that much, Teresa, or do you see it much, or do you think it's a good idea?
They're the best example I could probably give you is, let's just say a cash buyer comes into town and they've made an offer on your $200,000 listing, and it's full price and everything looks great and it's been accepted, but they leave town, and what if you can never reach them again?
Right.
So to keep honest people honest, Earnest
Right.
Money is used, and
Yes.
it allows them to just come right on back and close, or they get to lose that earnest money.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
it's
excellent.
Yeah. So I always tell my buyers, when we tell our buyers, hey, the only way that the seller is going to know who you are is through this contract.
That's right.
They're not going to know you any other way. Most of the time, they don't know you.
Mhm.
And so it's great to use a tool like Earnest Money to show them, I'm a strong buyer.
I'm earnest.
I
to
am
buy this
earnestly
house.
wanting to buy your house.
I'm very serious.
I'm serious about it, and I'm willing to show you that by putting up some money
That's right.
until closing, and then it'll come back to me. And I think that's a great way to show a seller how serious you are about it.
That's right.
And I don't think it's being used, Teresa, very much. Do you? I mean,
No, I don't.
I don't think so either.
I think a lot of agents are scared of it to some level because they don't maybe understand it. But honestly, that kind of works in our favor sometimes to win the offer, because we do like it, we do understand it, we do use it. So
There's
you
certain
bet.
situations you need it.
You do need it.
You're exactly
Yeah.
right.
Keep honest people honest.
Honest. I'm going to
I
use
like
that. So
I like it.
that's great.
The other thing, what about inspections? I mean, sometimes that really hurts us in negotiations, because sellers are like, listen, I'll give you this price, but I don't want to have to mess with anything at the end of it.
That's
And
right.
so I think telling buyers too, hey, let's just make sure you got the right to do an inspection.
Right.
I'm not telling you don't, but let's not beat the seller up over every little nook and cranny when
Correct.
it comes down to it, because they may have a backup offer. They've got 5 other people waiting in line.
That's right.
So yes, if there is a hole in the ceiling, we want that fixed. Okay.
Right. But if the doorknob is sticking, you might let that go.
You might let
Just
that go,
deal
right?
with it.
Just add
Yeah.
a little bit of WD later.
There you go.
Right.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Just deal with it. Yeah, I think that there with repairs. So when a seller gets a really high offer, maybe above full price offer, I think the threat in their mind is, what are they going to come back and ask me for repairs, right? Like, they expect a long repair list, and that terrifies sellers of the unknown of the inspection. So I feel like Caleb and I have personally, when we work with buyers, we personally help them win offers by putting that in to say, no repairs are going to be requested by the seller. How they can still do an inspection. So yeah, you bet. I think it wins I think that really helps.
I think it does too.
So-
Puts the seller at ease.
It does.
You know.
It does. So
What about different types of loans, Teresa? Do you see that if somebody has a VA, FHA, or conventional loan, like a seller will lean on one of those loans?
Well, I think
More-
that depends on the agent and how well they understand.
the loan
Oh, that's
type.
a
loan.
good. That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So-
about you? Do you
Do I have a
consult with
preference?
your seller?
I like cash. That's my favorite. Conventional would probably be next.
Say, I'm
but-
a cash buyer's agent
Yeah.
only.
But they're all good because, even USDA allows those first-time home buyers to get in with very little money.
That's right.
Right.
It is a great loan.
Yeah.
So we're making people's dreams come true.
That's true.
right.
And
We
it's
are.
a
That's
good loan to
important.
get started off with. But if we had our choice, like the conventional one would be probably the one that we
As
would
a
lean
listing
on.
agent,
As a listing agent,
I
would
would
say
recommend.
we have 5 offers.
Right.
We'd say let's look at the one that has the conventional loan if they're at the same price, right?
And the reason why, to educate, is basically because with the conventional loan, that means that buyers normally have money.
That's
to
right.
pay
That's
down.
right. Yeah.
And if it's USDA or FHA, maybe they don't have as much money to pay down, or maybe they have to ask the seller to
pay some-
participate
That's right.
in the closing costs. So, all that being said, the more seasoned agent you use,
There you go.
Yep, I think
they'll
Yeah.
help you through those
I,
steps.
I think, yeah, because conventional's anywhere from
What,
5%
5%
to
down?
20% down, and so you're talking about a strong
which is
buyer.
a lot of money for
Yeah.
people. So yeah,
Absolutely.
they can back themselves
Right.
up.
Well,
But
good.
if you're a little USDA buyer and you have $550, you're probably going to be able to get in a house.
That's true.
You probably
Yeah.
will. I think in a multiple offer situation, you know, that's not your best foot forward. But if that's the best you can do,
That's
then
the best you can do.
I
Right.
think that
Yeah.
you know, I think things work out.
Yeah.
But if
So-
it's a rural development loan, and we see those a lot,
Right.
just remember some of the other things we used. Use Earnest Money. Use that $550
That's right.
for
That's
Earnest
right.
Money. Use that
No
delayed
repairs.
occupancy, no repairs. You know, make it look as good as possible. So the conventional guy, you might do some things that the conventional guy doesn't think about.
That's
so
right.
I think those are some good points. Anything else that y'all can think of?
Well, I would think just overall, like the idea is when we say clean offer, that you, as a buyer, presenting it to the seller, that you're presenting, that you're not asking him to do a lot of things to make it easy and simple for him to just accept your offer and get out and be happy.
Yeah.
So that's the idea behind what we're talking about. Just making it easy, make yourself very, very appealing to the seller.
Absolutely.
And separating yourself from other buyers
I agree.
Absolutely.
through Earnest Money. But I think we're good.
Teresa, thank you
Yeah.
Thank you.
for being a part of this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we taught somebody something today.
I think we did.
Clarksville's really kicking it, rocking it.
Yes,
so,
they really
So
are.
you guys come see us at Moore and Company.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
Teresa, thank you, girl. We
Thank
appreciate you.
Have a good day.